Hello everyone, this is Adnan with Canap's training videos. We're on part 4, and in part 3 we made collections. I wanted to have one video, but it was already 12 minutes, so now in part 4 I'm going to create applications and packages and then deploy on these collections. Jumping back to our SCCM server. Now here, so far, what we have accomplished are these. Start with administration, site servers, scene site. We did some client push installation. After that, we saw some devices. Some devices were discovered within devices, and then based on these devices, we made device collection. And now we're gonna work on applications to deploy some software on these collections. So for example, if we ever need to deploy any software within the environment, there are few ways. The most common way that we use is manually install that software. So normally, for example, if I ever need to deploy any software, let's see, I need to deploy a software called 7-zip. What I would do is I would go to internet and find 7-zip. I would say download 7-zip. Would download this. You go to this site, and here it shows you this. You take the software, take it to the client machine, download, take it to the client machine and download. So for example, I'm going to download 64-bit version of MSI. Now whenever it comes to application, you can deploy MSI software, you can also deploy XZ, but the most convenient way of deploying software is through MSI. So if you have MSI of any application, it is better to go with MSI, because SCCM can automatically take a lot of configuration from MSI. So I'm gonna download MSI and I'm gonna save it on this computer. It is now saved in downloads. Now the second thing what we need to do is, on SCCM server we need to create a folder for all these software, where all these softwares are. So by default there won't be any folder. I created a folder called sources. Within sources I'm keeping all applications and software updates and operating system and everything that is necessary. So within application, I have already copied two applications. One is 7-zip, the other one is WinZip. So far nothing fancy here. So far what we did, we just created a folder called sources. Sometime it is also called content library, or sometime it is called library contents. So in any case this folder has to be created, and this will have all our source applications that will be deployed on clients. Now as soon as we create this source, make sure it is shared. So I just shared it, and make sure that everyone should have full control on shared permissions. So it is still protected because everyone has read access on NTFS permission, but full control on this. So few things to remember: create a folder, share it with the name sources, and then assign permission. And then inside the folder you can keep all applications in one, but I try to manage them properly within different folders. So I created a folder. I have these two applications. I have to deploy both applications, so I'll start with 7-zip. Now once the folder is created, application is downloaded, copied, I need to go to software library. Within software library I would go to applications. Now there are two things: number one, applications, and packages. I do have zip 7. What I'll do, I'll just delete this to redo this once and permanently delete it. So in the meantime, while it is deleting, we need to understand the difference between applications and packages. Applications are newer in SCCM 2012. Application doesn't exist in 2007. In 2007, when we need to deploy applications, we would download application and make a package of this. So packages, manage package that contains the files and instructions to deploy program. Now package are lighter than applications. Applications have more features than packages. Applications has more reports than packages. Now deploy application to users and configure rules to. You can do a lot of things with application that you cannot do with packages. Packages are also used for backward compatibility. So when we migrated from 2007 to 2012, we had only packages, so we had to migrate all packages to applications. Packages can also work directly in SCCM as well. So for in a nutshell, packages are older technology, applications are newer technology. Packages are lighter, applications are heavier, but they have more features, more detailed reports. They have more more logs to go through, where they can give us more information. So I'll leave packages for now, but in application, our target was to deploy 7-zip. All I need to do is create application. Here, what type of application is this? MSI. Remember, we downloaded MSI version. If it would have been XZ, we would have been selected something different. So for now, it is MSI package. Location is my location is this. My location on SCCM server. If I go directly to C drive, it is this location. And I'll go here, I'll select done. But guys, this is wrong. The location should always be in UNC naming convention, so it should be written like this. Now if I go here, still I get error message saying UNC path, so always remember to put UNC path. Now how to get a UNC path for newer people who are very new to Windows and UNC path, the easiest way would be to browse, and you can type // your SCCM server name, because sources exist on SCCM server, and enter. If as soon as you enter, it will show you all shares on this server. Go to sources, applications, and it automatically takes this complete path. So remember, it has to have this UNC path for the application. And next, it is saying the published application file could not be verified. Since it is not Microsoft file, it is just matter of verification. For now, we'll just go with import the file, and done. So application so here is the name of the application, some admin comment. For example, the app is for marketing team. So just for others to know that who created the application, followed by change number, whatever. So the more detail you have, the better it is in future. So I've been in environments where we had 200-300 applications, but without administrator comments or no specific details. Some applications we never knew who installed them, why they are there. So the more comments you have, the better it is. And here, since it is MSI, it automatically took the installation path. So this is I is for the file that we are installing, Q is for it will be a quiet install, meaning as soon as this is deployed on client 1, it will be very quiet. Client won't be able to see anything what's happening in the background, and application will be installed. Behavior install for system resources devices. You can only deploy it for users, or only for systems, or leave it system if user is not, if systems is not selected, then it will automatically be user. I'll go with the third option. Next, and done. Now anything that we create in SCCM, it has to be distributed and deployed. So we're gonna first distribute this and then deploy it to our collection, to our Windows 7 collection. Now before going here, let me go to the client and see if I do not have already 7-zip installed on this. Let's see. Actually not, because it's not here. We're gonna deploy it through SCCM. It is working. While it is working, it is creating that application. So it has created summary pass. So this application is created. It is deployment type is 1, and if you can keep an eye on this, deployment type is it's a Windows installer file, which is MSI file. It is not superseding any previous version. So superseded is previous version. If there is an older version of 7-zip, what should it do? We have not selected this option. Are there any dependencies for this application? Meaning this is just a 7-zip. Maybe you're deploying an application that needs another application before this application, so we can add some dependencies. And second, where is it being deployed? For now, it is not being deployed anywhere. So first of all, I need to distribute it, which is right here, or I can see them right here as well. Distribute and then deploy. So distribute and deploy. Now before I distribute it, let me show you in monitoring. In monitoring, if I go to distribution status, and if I go to distribution status, content status, I can see 7-zip here, but it's not targeted to anything, 0, and it is showing me grayed out since it is not distributed. So I just wanted to show you before distributing it. Now if I go back here and right click and distribute, or I can go from here as well. Now distribute where? It should be distributed on a distribution point. So I'd select my one distribution point and next, and OK, next, done, close. So it is distributed. Now it is distributed. Let me go back to monitoring, go back to content status. Now as you can see, it is yellow and it is in progress, and in few seconds it will be distributed. So if I click refresh few times, what is the meaning of distribution? Okay, so close up to, it happens not very often, but it does happen. Close it, reopen it again. I'll go back to monitoring, go back to distribution status, go back here. Now it shows me it is green, targeted 1, and successful. View status, if you need to have more detail where it is distributed, successful, it is distributed on this distribution point. If you have other sites and distribution point, then it would show you other distribution points and their status as well. So it is distributed. Going back to software library, going back to applications, now I need to deploy it. Deploy, I can simulate deployment as well. This won't deploy it, but we'll check dependencies and this and that rules. I would just simulate it and should give you a report, but I'm gonna deploy it now to my collection. So deployment can only be done on collections. See this, collection cannot be done on just devices. You have to have a collection. So here I want to deploy it to my Windows 7 collection. I don't see it here. Why? Because it is a user collection. I need to change it to device collection, and here I'm gonna send it to my dynamic collection, which is my query based collection, and this one was direct rule collection. So done, and next, distribution point, and next. Now here you need to do a available first of all, action as install or uninstall. Are you installing it, or I'm installing it, of course. And second one, is it available or required? If you leave it available, then this software will be sent to client 1 but not installed unless user will go into Software Center and install it manually. If I go required, it will automatically go and be installed. So this is automatic installation. This is just copied, just paste it, bring the application to the client 1, and whoever logs in, they would initiate the install. In this case, I'm gonna go with required, and there are a few options, no need to select them for now. Next, this is as soon as possible, the schedule, and here what type of notification would you need, and here very important, some packages would need restart. What do you want to do? If you select here, it will restart the machine, but the best way is don't restart, just give notification. Display in Software Center, only show notification for restart, don't restart clients. We'll go with this option, not restarting. Here this is just alerting if you need to get emails and you do have operations manager in your environment, then this would work, otherwise it won't. Well, won't select it, and now it is deploying it. So first we distributed it, now deploying it. Now deploying, as soon as I deployed it, I can go back to monitoring. Within monitoring, I can go back to deployments. Within deployment, I can see this, it is still grayed out, but in few minutes it will be changed, which shows some status. Run summarization. This is just to run summarization what's happening on this. Let me go back to the client here and see what's happening. Now if your client is properly configured, agent is properly working, you should start seeing some activity here. So activity. Now another place within the client that you can see if something is being sent to you is here. I can go to all programs, go to this, go to Software Center. Software Center is the location that receives softwares from the server, and it will show you the activity, what softwares are being installed or removed, and so on. Now the default policy is not running. Whenever the policy will run the next time, then it would take it. For now, I don't see my 7-zip. I can see this, but this is different, but I don't see my 7-zip, not even installation. Now in order to force this on a client, there are two ways. One is that I would go to the client and go to control panel. So I'm gonna force the policy so that it can bring whatever is on the SCCM server. Go to configuration manager, go to actions, and I would need to run this policy. So these are all of the policies. You can select one by one and run them. This is like forcing the policy. This is one way, but I'm not doing it for now. Let me show it from server side. From server side, you can go to assets and compliance, go to devices, and here you can right click here and go to this. So this is a third-party tool which is right click. We did install right click on part 1 of this training, and here in this tool you can also cycle the policy. I can click here. If you need to see how to install right click are not installed by default in SCCM. You can download right click tools and then install it on a server where you have admin console, and then restart the console. I can do client action and do this from SCCM server, or I can go into the client and do this same thing. So here, as soon as I do, now it has sent a request to SCCM server to refresh the SCCM policy, which means if there is anything new sent to be to the client, this has to be, as you can see, I can see this software. It will be installed because it was sent immediately. and this is my software center. So again, software center shows us the status of any application. Installation status, it is downloading it from SCCM and it will be installing it. So here it is showing me the status here, and here, so we'll leave it running. Let me see. So while this is being run, let me pause the video, and as soon as it starts, because it's downloading it, after downloading it we continue. Okay. Okay, let's see the status now. After waiting for some time, the application is still sitting here and 0% complete. Now normally if everything is fine, this application should be installed within minutes, few minutes, if not seconds. But this application is sitting here for the last 15 minutes and it's not going through. Now there can be many different reasons for this, but one of the most common reason is most of the time is that your boundary group settings or your DP settings. So let me go back to my boundary group here and try to make sure just one thing. I need to go to my boundary group, go to references, and that's the issue. So this boundary group for the site assignment is not assigned to any site. I need to assign this boundary group to a site here, and that's it. So I think this is what's blocking this. I would need to do this. It is now the site is assigned, and secondly what I can do is let's go back here and kind of let me redistribute it. So in order to redistribute it, I would need to go back to the assets, software library, to applications, right click here, go to properties, go to content location, select the distribution point and redistribute. Sure you want to redistribute the content. Yes, redistribute. So now what it is doing is it is trying to redistribute the content. So it is distributed. This was actually distribution successfully. Here it was distributed. Let me go to deployments, and in deployments it is not yet showing me any type of status. Within deployment status for in progress. Let's go on to a client. Let's refresh this. It's still stuck here, but it's gone from here. Now it is here. Most probably it should go now. So we found the error. I'll pause this here for a second. So still it didn't go through. Now the second thing we can check for this is going back to our SCCM server. Go to administration, site, distribution point, and make sure the distribution point has the correct settings. Now let me try and expand this. So the settings that I'm looking for enable. No, not this. I need to see, oh, no boundary group in distribution point. we need to add a boundary group to our distribution point. So for now, our distribution point was without a boundary group. Mostly. So how do I click OK? Okay, it's done. Go back again. Here, and do one more thing is I can go to software configuration, and I can say application deployment cycle. Let me rerun this and update. No, I don't need this. Let me run this as well. And that's it. The other thing that I need to do is go to cache. Need to go to configuration settings, and this is my cache. So CCM cache. Let me see what is in the cache. I'll go back to Windows, and within CCM cache I can see nothing because nothing was downloaded. Let me delete files in cache and go back to SCCM server and go back to software library, application, properties. Let me see what I have here in right click tools. Sorry, I need to go to properties. I need to go to content location, select redistribute. This is one thing. And secondly, I'll go to my devices. Devices are in assets and compliance. Go to my device, go here, and here I can see clear cache. Open client installation log folder, client log file folder. Okay, let me see again, and let me check that out from. So now that it has stopped, it will take some time to just fail. I can check a log file called, let me bring first of all SCCM server sources, not sources. I need to go to tools, SCCM tool. I need to open log file in this machine, which is CCM log file, and the log file that I'm looking for is content transfer. Here it's saying the received job received empty location update. Actually suspended. It is suspended. Received empty location. What about gas log here, invalid user credentials. This can be okay. I'm gonna pause this, troubleshoot this, and then come back, because this troubleshooting sometimes takes a lot of time and effort. Okay, so I tried to Google, but I couldn't find any specific answer. The few of the blogs were pointing to the same thing what I checked: boundary group on a distribution on a DP. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try something else. So I'm gonna try and redeploy it again, since I did some settings. And let's see, I'm gonna redeploy it to devices, same collection, and has already been deployed. Okay, hold on, it has already been deployed. Let me cancel this deployment. So deployment type is this, right click here, delete. I'm gonna delete, remove the deployment, and redeploy again. Deploy collection, and here, distribution point, it is set to required, soon as possible, only notifications, done. It is done. Now here I should be able to rerun the policy. Go to action, run policy now, and this one too. It has no use, but you know what? So let's see what's happening now. Okay, redeployment is saying no longer available. Please F5 to refresh. If I press F5, it is refreshing, and I think it is installed. So let's see. Is installed? No, it's not available in center because I removed it. So going back from here, it is now deployed to this collection 0. Going back to monitoring. In monitoring, it says content status is 0 for this application. Let me go back to was distributed successfully, no error, deployments, run summarization, view status. Now in view status, it is in progress, waiting for the content. Error requirement, it is retrieving. Let's jump back to client. Let's see what's happening here. To all programs. So I mean, it is interesting solving these SCCM issues, but sometimes, wow, really frustrating. Available software is nothing. going back to the control panel, and here let me rerun the policy one more time. Take several minutes. Normally it's very quick in real environments. And oh yes, I saw this now. It is will be installed. Yay! So which means, and it is being installed. The IT department changes. Installation status is installing. Wow. So thanks God it is installed. As you can see, it is now installed and working. Now it happens every now and then. You will see these error messages. The thing is to be patient and try everything. So here I would say I did not had a boundary. I did not had a boundary group attached to DP, which you can go back in the video and see. But for now the application is installed, it's working, and I'll stop this video here. In the next video probably I'm gonna show you how to create a package out of exe file. For now, thank you for watching this video, and see you in the next one.